Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery, yeah. Trauma recovery, yeah. Toxic recovery, yeah. Trauma recovery, yeah. Toxic recovery, yeah. Yeah. I'm sick of abusive, narcissistic relationships. Sick of emotional trips. Sick of the lies that roll off your lips. Play me like some type of script. Gaslight me to keep me in grips. Time to cut ties and quit with the snip. Ready to get on the path of toxic recovery. Trauma recovery, yeah. Toxic recovery, yeah. Trauma recovery, yeah. Toxic recovery, yeah. You said it was love and all of your above, but you wanna suffer, yeah. Trauma recovery, yeah. Toxic recovery, yeah. Trauma recovery, yeah. Trauma recovery, yeah. Trauma recovery, yeah. Trauma recovery, yeah. You said it was love and all of your above, but you wanna suffer. Trauma recovery, yeah. Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Trauma recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Toxic recovery. Yeah.
Disclaimer. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and I often refer to toxic narcissists and general abusers as delusional, crazy, and mentally unstable. A, because if anyone should be described as this, it's these types. And B, because when we're in these toxic, narcissistic, or generally abusive dynamics, we often give their behavior far too much respect, which keeps us in the cycle for longer. It is my hope that my mocking of their behavior encourages you to take that respect away. Now, if you've been diagnosed with a general mental health condition, please know that at no point am I mocking or talking about you. I consider that to be a separate issue that I take very seriously. And with that being said, let's get into it. Hello. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about Cardi B, Stefon, and the chef who's made the allegations. Mila Adams, her name is. So we're going to be talking about that situation and only that situation in this week's pop culture mashup. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So let's start with what actually happened in that situation. Guys, if you're liking what I'm saying here, please give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comment section as we discuss. Okay, let's get into it. All right. So first we're going to talk about Cardi B and her response to all the Christmas drama. If you don't know what the Christmas drama was, Stefon Digg spent his Christmas with his new son, who was born weeks apart from Cardi, and left Cardi and his newborn, their newborn, shared newborn, to spend Christmas alone. There was a lot going on with that. If you don't know the details of that, check out my last live. I'm going to put the link in the description box later, right? But of course, stay with me here. Now, as a result of all of that drama, there were people talking about it for online, right? She comes out and gives her response to it. And this is what she said. You guys tell me what you think of this. This is what she said.
To calm down. Y'all need to calm down. Y'all need to calm down. Is y'all cool? Y'all been dragging me for 3 or 4 days. Y'all been a little bit too mean. Like, now. Y'all been a little bit too mean. I can't change. I can't go back in time. You know what I'm saying? I already had a baby. Y'all want me to put my baby back in my huh?
I feel like this is kind of like a I know I messed up kind of response. What do you guys think? This is what it's given to me. It's like, yeah, I messed up, but we're just moving forward now, which is what she says in the other part of it. She's like, we're just going to move forward. Like, there's nothing I can do. Basically, there's nothing I can do about the situation. I'm here. I just got to deal with it. This is what I get from her response, which is better, because what I thought that she might do, which is really the kiss of death, what I thought she might do is come out and defend him and just be like, don't be talking about me and my man, and you don't know nothing about our relationship. And I'm just like, that is just setting you up for a huge embarrassment. So please do not do that, Cardi. And she didn't, which is great. She's kind of taken the more humble approach, like, okay, yeah, it looks bad because it kind of is bad, but this is where we're at. And that was kind of the best thing that she could do under the circumstances. And she was basically talking about her next tour and how she needed fans on side and she needs the fan support and stuff like that. I think that was like crowd management. She didn't want to piss off her fans when she's about to do her tour, which naturally is not a good time to start doing that, right? And also would have just been a stupid move, especially now that we know about more serious allegations going on, right? Anybody know about these allegations? Let's get into that. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are about her response. I feel like she's kind of admitting that she messed up, but and kind of trying to move past it in the best way that she can, which I think is fair. You know, what can she do at this point? She's right. There's nothing that she can do about that situation. It's done. She's just going to have to. What I think that she should do is leave the guy before it just gets messier. But, you know, she's going to have to figure that out for herself. She's just had his baby. So I doubt she's going to just up and leave at this point, you know. But anyway, Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me tell you about the free training before we get into the actual allegations. So, the free training, psychoeducation for every woman. Every woman needs to know this. I teach you all the things. I teach you the foundation of toxic, narcissistic, and abusive dynamics, including 47 most common red flags. And I teach you about trauma, narcissistic. We go deeper into those red flags and explain further those. And then I talk about trauma symptoms and responses, because you need to know all of that in order to better be able to manage yourself in situations and avoid situations. There's a lot that goes into it. Check out the free training. A link is in the description box. It's in the description box of all the videos. Check it out and let's level up and stay toxic free together. Now, let's get into the allegations. Stefon Digg has been accused of assault by his personal chef. Now, as soon as I heard personal chef, I was like, it's a woman, right? I think it's a woman. And it was absolutely a woman. But let me play the video so that you can get an overview of what is actually happening in this, what the allegation actually is.
Stefon Diggs might have had did that shit. And personally, after reviewing the police report, Stefon Diggs might have had did that shit. Okay, so here's the police report. It says she said that on this date, the male that she worked for entered her unlocked bedroom. They had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to Adams. She said that they began to discuss this, which apparently angered the male. She alleges that the male then smacked her across the face. She said that she tried to push him away. The male then tried to choke her using the crook of his elbow around her neck. She said that he was behind her with his arm wrapped around her. She said that she did feel like she had trouble breathing and that she felt like she could have blacked out. She said that as she tried to pry his arm away, he had tightened his grip. At that point, the male threw her onto the bed. That police report is a lie. That statement is a lie. And I don't know if the Patriots saw that. Because I wonder if they saw that, would they still be standing behind him the way they are? Or do they not care about this type of thing? I'm sure that they do. What do y'all think?
I think they don't care about this type of thing.
I wonder if there's any like video evidence. Doubt it. Highly doubt it. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they care. I think they would have stood beside him nonetheless. It doesn't matter whether he's lying about the whole situation. One thing I want to say, and I want to make very clear, anybody who's doing this to you will actually end your life. It's one of these major red flags. It's a get out of there as soon as possible sign, okay? If he's doing this, you got to get out of there, right? So yeah, heard that. I was like, he did that because we already discussed some of the allegations that he's had so far. One where he essayed a male, right? And then got his brother or cousin. I can't remember what it was. The details are amiss for me. Go and check out the video. I'll put the link in the description box too. Where I spoke about it, but yeah, and then he tried to then he got him jumped, and then he stole his jewelry, and then he wore his jewelry after getting it stolen for him. There was a lot going on, right? He's a twisted so-and-so, which is why I was like, Cardi, absolutely not. This guy is not it. It's just, don't even have fun with this guy. It's a train wreck. And here she is in a situation where she's now had his baby. He's got 5 billion trillion baby mothers. And now he's got this allegation. And it's not even so much about the allegation as much as it's about this guy's a violent guy. He's a violent guy. So she's got herself into, I don't want to say a worse situation, because I hear a lot of people saying it's a worse situation because, Offset was never like about putting hands on people as far as we know, right? But emotional and psychological abuse is just as taxing, okay, just as harmful. So I don't want to say more danger, although I say, okay, with physical stuff, they're not about, with psychological stuff, they're not about to take your life. However, they can drive you to you wanting to do that yourself, Do you know what I mean? So potato, potato, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, my point is when they're doing this, dangerous signs, dangerous signs. So let's get some stuff from Tisa Towles because she gives us more information. I like to hear her, like, not so much the take on things, but her information. When she's giving her reports, she gives us a lot more information. Like, let's hear what she had to say. She's where she found out that she is where I found out that he actually asked the chef to leave when the week that Cardi was coming to stay with him after their son was born. And immediately when I heard that, I was like, he's sleeping with her. Because why do you need to do that? Why are you asking your chef to leave when your girlfriend comes to stay after giving birth? Like, shouldn't you want the chef to be there in order to make things easier for Cardi? Like, what is happening, right? So I straight away I was like, you're sleeping with her. Got it. Okay. And it wouldn't surprise us really because he's been sleeping with a lot of people. That's how he managed to have how many kids in 2025? You know what I mean? Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, but that's what I thought. And then the rest. But let's have a listen to what some clips of Tisa Towles telling us more about the case.
Person in less than a life abuser. This is the third person in less than a year. Two of them women, one of the men that said Stefon and did all that stuff to him. Maybe everybody's lying, but this is not civil. The police have got involved. This is
so this is the third allegation this year. I didn't know this. This is what I mean. She's great for this type of thing. Like, I didn't know this. Because the chef was situationship turned DV. Yes, I think so too. I think, you know what I mean? He has situationships all over the place, and then he might get them pregnant at some stage, like clearly. And that's the other thing about it. I watched this other video, and I'm probably going to play it later if we have enough time, where the guy was like, he got them all in a row, and he was like, oh yeah, I understand, like all the baby mothers in a row. Pictures of all of them and being like, oh, I understand, because they're kind of cute. And I was just like, but that's four or three, I can't remember. Four, yeah, I think it was four pictures. That's four different people that he was sleeping with in which he could have given them diseases. I'm just like, we're talking about unprotected sex. This is what we're talking about because that's how we have babies, right? So in that, he might not have given them a baby. He could have just given them an STD. He could have given them HIV. It could have been very, 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 very serious, life-threatening. So, like, women, we need to do better at protecting ourselves because what is that? The guy was sleeping with 4 different women and having unprotected sex with all of them. And those women were having unprotected sex with him, yet not being in a committed relationship with him. I just got to pause for a minute and just really, really double down on us being better at protecting ourselves. Because one of these things that these toxic, narcissistic and abusive people in particular like to do is give you life-threatening diseases. Okay, if they have them, they have no qualm. They make no problem giving it to you. In fact, they will actively go out to get you to give it to you. These people would have been easy targets for that type of thing had he had one of those life-threatening, things going on. So guys, we need to do better. I'm seeing the lineup of these women and I'm thinking he could have just given them all a disease instead of a child. Like, what are we doing? Let's do better at this. Anyway, let's keep going.
Criminal arrest. And even if the person that Stefon's trying to settle with drops the case can still move forward. But let's get into the details. New England Patriots wide receiver Stefon Digg is accused of strangulation and assault charges dating back to an incident that happened on December 2nd. Stefon appeared in Dedham District Court on Tuesday. He's set to appear in court on January 23rd. Now, keep in mind, this arraignment is like over 3 weeks away. It's 2 days before if they make it to the playoffs. This is definitely the Patriots in full action because who else gets an arraignment? Arraignments usually happen within 24 to at most of 72 hours of being arrested. also, he was arrested on Christmas Day. Anyway, according to the court paperwork, and this is criminal, the accuser alleges they had an ongoing text exchange with Stefon regarding money owed to them. The alleged victim was working for Stefon as a private chef and said they were hired by him on July 20th, 2025. Okay? Now, it goes a little deeper because we have the actual text messages, okay? This was posted. These text messages are crazy, okay? This is what makes me feel sorry. So the chef texted a female, texted Stefon and said, "You will pay me out for the season and the money you said you would give me for my business. Wasted my effing time being here because you got an effing circus going on. I'm out of your life." Stefon says, "I won't be paying you ish. I look like paying you and paying another chef. Is you high, B-I-T-C-H? Who the F gotta give you money for your business? I don't gotta do an MFing thing. And you can get whoever you want. You got my address. Tell them to come, take the money, then F you Tom about. Show me I'm P-U-S-S-Y, right?" So anyway,
So reading between the lines, what I'm hearing here is he slept with her, basically love bombed her, did the whole thing, was like, "Oh, you're so good with your culinary skills. Yeah, you want to start your own business. I'll be happy to support that." Love bomb, love bomb, love bomb, sleep with. And now he's just switched up the game. Now he's like, "Get out. My girlfriend's coming. She's just had the baby. And no, I'm not going to pay you for the time." Because she said that he just basically told her to leave without any notice, and then was like, she was like, "Okay, you're going to pay me for that time?" Because usually when the boss tell you to leave when you haven't asked for leave, apparently they still have to pay for that time. This is normal kind of stuff. She's not asking for anything out of the ordinary, basically. And he was just like, no. And he didn't like give her money. Not only was he not paying her for the time, because he wasn't paying her for her time that she was working there. So she didn't really have the money at which to go home and take time off and do that stuff. And then he also didn't provide the funds for her to actually leave. So he just basically kicked her out because she was a live-in chef, which made it easier for her, obviously, to sleep with her. I think they are called bug chasers, spreading incurable diseases for sport. Yeah, exactly. Those guys or those people. Right, bug chasers, I don't know. They might not necessarily be women, but I've only heard stories from men doing it. But yeah, they do that. It's a thing, right? In fact, I should although I'm going to do that on my TikTok because I don't do, I just do celebrity stuff here. I do more real life kind of like breakdowns on my TikTok channel. So that's different. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to do something about that there. Let's keep going.
This is Stefon talking to his chef that is a woman. Now, here's where things get like really, really, really ugly and very, very disturbing, okay? Because this part, even if any of this is true, and this is all on the police report, the complaint, he looks crazy. So the woman claims Stefon...
He is crazy. He is crazy.
...entered her unlocked room on December 2nd. So she was living with Stefon. Oh, she also says you got a circle.
Okay, let's keep going. So basically, I'm not sure if it comes up in the next one, but she was living with him. They were having this text exchange. He goes into her room. He basically, that's where he does the thing, and the thing throws her on the bed and said, "Yeah, that's what I thought." So they're going back and forth on text message. He then goes into her room and assaults her. Let's keep going.
Charge, and he was arrested for assault, right? Said he smacked her, choked her out.
What would you do if you were Cardi B in this situation? Because last week we just got over Christmas. You're heavily embarrassed. You've just come out to say, "Hey guys, not too much on me right now. Come on, give me a break." And then this comes out. What would you do in this situation? Because she's been very quiet. Do you think that's the best approach to take? Let me know in the comment section. Let's keep going.
His ex-girlfriend said that he punched her in the...
Okay, so now she's talking about all the allegations before this situation. Let's have a listen.
He has been criminally charged and he was arrested for assault, right? Said he smacked her, choked her out. His ex-girlfriend said that he punched her in the back of the head, gave her a concussion. The stylist that he used to be like this said Offset, not Offset, Stefon had him jumped and beat up because Stefon wanted him to give a little sloppy toppy and he was like, not even, right? So there's all these charges against Stefon. Stefon also has 5 kids. 4 of them are literally months apart. He has 2 boys, 3 girls. 4 of those children have been born in the last year, I believe, or at least in the last 15 months. It's still too close. His sons are 2 months apart. Here's the thing. Offset is trying to exploit this to get a leg up in court with Cardi B. And the legal experts are saying that if Cardi B does not separate her image from Stefon, this man could cost her millions. You want to know how? Hold on. Okay, so I reached out to Legal Twitter because they were the ones that actually reached out to me. And I reached out to a lawyer that is very, very good, right? And I was like, what is with all these rumors, right? How does Offset think that Stefon Diggs literally could help him get millions? Now, don't forget that the girl that Offset allegedly got preggo, but then put pressure on for her to let go of the preggo. Okay, it's allegedly. And Stefon Diggs are like this. is also like this with all Stefon's babies' moms, or at least one of them, KJK. And you know what's like in pictures and stuff. I've always think that Stefon and Pri are running a con on Offset and Cardi, but you know what? What do I know? I'm not in the Atlanta streets, right? However, this is what they said. They said, Tisa, Cardi B needs to think long and hard about how much this relationship with Stefon means. Now, I tend to think this is a PR relationship, but whatever, right? A PR relationship that went too far, okay? Because they're like, courts take a lot of things seriously. For one, if there's domestic violence that the children witness, now clearly I don't think there's been any domestic violence, right? Repeated police involvement at the home, which I don't think that's it either. However, if there is a household member with documented violent behavior and access to the kids, that's a problem. Also, if there's any way that they can prove substance abuse, that is the problem, okay? Now, her issues with Offset will only become an issue if Cardi and Stefon
Okay, if Cardi and Stefon actually what? I didn't get that bit. Okay, so it only becomes an issue if Cardi and Stefon. I don't know what she was going to say. I can't remember. I haven't watched the whole thing. Oh, I did watch it, but I can't remember. Anyway, the point is she could be up for some real serious legal situations as a result of this situation. And I think because Cardi had her child while she was still married to Offset. And I think because of that, he can kind of get more money from Cardi because of that. Not just because he's claiming that he made her career, but also because she had a child while still married to him, basically. So it's not looking good on that front, you know. This is like a double L. This is why I say, guys, do not go trying to date again to get revenge, show him what's what, show him you did that. I know it's tempting. Do not do it. Show yourself the love and respect and the solitude that you very much need in that healing time, and just take a seat, okay? It doesn't matter what he's doing. Just take a seat for yourself to protect yourself from going down this road. Cardi should not have said anything and just distance herself. You think Cardi shouldn't have said anything about the Christmas thing either? Or do you think that she should not say anything now about this thing? I agree. She should just not say anything. Although it has been rumored that when this girl Mila first said that or started talking about, pressing charges, apparently they don't say it was Cardi B. She said Stefon's girlfriend called up and basically tried to talk her out of it and tried to kind of like pay her off. Now, I don't know what other girlfriend he has that would have the money to try and pay off the lady. Although he doesn't seem, so we can only assume it's Cardi B, but we don't know whether it's Cardi B, right? She basically said to Mila that it wasn't a big deal, what happened. Do you think that sounds like something Cardi might do? I think it kind of does, unfortunately, sound like something Cardi might do. I feel like she's in over her head. I feel like she knows that. She knew that she was in over her head at the Christmas thing. So God knows where her head's at now. Because with these allegations, because it's not just about the allegation. You got to understand that if he's like that with those women, what do you think he's going to be like with Cardi B at some point? You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to be any different. This kind of, he has just been doing this. So basically, she's in the midst of a DV situation that she's in the, you know what I mean? I was going to say the good bit, although it's not really looking that good, to be fair, but the non-physical part of a DV situation. And she's not really, I don't think she, guys, what do you think? I don't think this is looking good for her at all, of course. Let's listen to his response about the whole thing, because he does actually give a response. Guys, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and subscribe and hit that bell so you get a notification every time I go live. Let's listen to his response to everything.
Sorry, I didn't.
Stefon, thanks
sorry, I didn't. It's been a couple of days. I usually get to talk to you on Wednesday, but obviously it's a different time, a very emotional time. Taken back by some, things that's been going on, but I want to be here to say sorry I wasn't available for those couple of days. It's a different kind of time, but dealing with everything, it's definitely an open case, so I can't even say anything about it. I will be open to any football questions, anything you want to know. I'm saying I don't want to be rude or disrespectful in any way. So if anybody asks me a question that's pertaining to it, I'm obviously just give you a look. Y'all kind of know me at this point, but shoot.
What kind of support have you had, Stefon, from your teammates? And we saw you yesterday on the field breaking huddle, and it seems like you're the leader out there at this point still.
Is that a football question?
Well, it's not about any sort of crime. It's just about how you lead and how your teammates support you.
Regarding football, I'm gonna continue to be the guy I've been. Trying to finish the season strong.
Have you and Christian talked or texted?
Christian is my close teammate, but talk about what per se.
Christian Barmore, you and he both dealing with some stuff off the field. I mean, have you talked?
Is that a football question? Try not to be rude. I said it in the beginning.
I hear you.
Okay, so he's very boundaried, but you could say that's a sign of his aggression and all of that. But then arguably the guys are actually pushing it. He said from the very beginning that he didn't want to talk about it. I don't want to be defending Stefon in any form of way. I think he's a disgusting person. But he did say at the beginning that he didn't want to speak on it, and they did just find other ways to ask him the same question, which, if he was to answer, would be speaking on it. So I don't know. What do you think about his response? I think he did the thing. There's no question in my mind that he did what they're saying. He's already playing head games with Cardi right now, which is kind of confirmed by her kind of response to it. She clearly is feeling like something is off. She clearly is feeling like he's not really doing or acting the way that he's supposed to be doing or acting, or else she would have been out there in defense mode. Like, don't be talking about my man. Do you see what I mean? She knows, she knew that was a head game. She picked up what he was putting down, put it like that, right? So I think that's why she's going, hey, not too much on your girl. Leave me alone. I just had a baby. Oh, I got the tour coming up. And just trying to sidestep the whole situation. This is why I think she came out with that response. I think he did it. I think she should run for her life at this point because she's next. This is what this tells me. This tells me that she is next. And the Good Life Starter pack said, I agree. They don't change, and they don't change. There's this myth out there that, oh my gosh, if he finds the right person that he's really into, he's not going to be that way. He is going to be that way. He's absolutely going to be that way because that is how he is. Like that is how he is. Okay. And he's going to do it with everybody. I mean, like Cardi B and this woman pretty much have almost the same figure going on. And this was the chef. And you're trying to tell me they weren't sleeping. They were sleeping together. They were doing the thing, right? So there were so a lot of things for me are quite shocking. Like, okay, so Cardi, did you know? This is a question because maybe she didn't even know. Because remember last week we were talking about Stefon Digg and what he did even before he got into football, right? Where he had both women at the hotel on Valentine's Day in different rooms. And he basically gave them all presents, but they didn't know about each other. But then the girlfriend found out about the other one and left him, right? So I'm just like, did she even know that he had a female chef? A live-in female chef, because that's not sounded like something Cardi would be cool with. Not that I know Cardi, but do you know what I mean? It's not sounding like something she would be cool with. But what I do think is being revealed here is but then I'm thinking, I was going to say, she's displaying a lot of codependent behavior in some ways, even kind of sticking to that situation, and I even kind of defending that situation and stuff like that, and it just even getting into that situation. But then maybe I can't really even comment because we don't know what she knew and what she didn't know, because this guy is clearly a very good liar. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking if she knew about all the other baby mothers, which I don't think she did, because based on her response, it's not given that. It's given, I didn't know, I was blindsided too, and now we just got to make the best of it type situation, right? Which would make sense as to why she was so on the front line for him and doing all the things that she was doing. She probably didn't know about the other people. So I take back the codependent thing. But then there's some stuff online about her going to a party where one of the baby mothers was, and then she was kind of like flexing, and that gives codependent behavior. That to me is like, okay, this is my man, I'm gonna be vibing for my man type thing. And I feel like that could be the result of her long-term relationship with that absolute headbender Offset, right? Because he did do a lot of headbending and manipulating and cheating and multiple, and the multiple cheating is emotional abuse on its own, right? Forget the gaslighting and all the other things that he was doing behind the scenes in order to keep her in place. But then you've got to understand the culture that she comes from as well, because there's a lot of codependent behavior being taught within particular cultures, right? Anything that is about, oh yeah, you get married and then you really go serve your man. Any culture that's about that is going to be very much teaching codependent type ways of thinking. Okay, so we got to take into account a culture as well. The codependency probably didn't like develop as a result of Offset. It was probably there before. Okay. Yeah, there were a lot of things that were just red flags in her and Offset's relationship when I looked at it. But anyway, we won't even go into that right now. Let's go to the court of public opinion. For me, what do you think this means for Cardi? I think it means she's about to basically be in a serious DV situation if she doesn't get out of there. That's what I think it means for her. What do you guys think it means? Let's go to the court of public opinion and see what they say. There's a lot of different opinions, by the way, but you got to understand he's a football player, right? And with that in mind, there's going to be a lot of people who want to kind of like turn a blind eye and do the whole, let's see what they say.
About Stefon Digg. I see a lot of females out here crying about Stefon Digg getting Cardi B pregnant, having a baby, and then having multiple other women pregnant at the same time or after his baby with Cardi B is born. Here's my whole input on the Stefon Diggs thing. I'm not mad at Stefon Diggs. I'm not mad at him at all. I'm not mad at him for the nice looking chef that he had. You know he was sitting that right. I'm not mad at him for knocking Cardi B up. You know he
So the chef was Mexican. Okay.
was sitting that right. I'm not mad at him for all the other women that's coming forward saying that they're pregnant by him. Some even took DNA tests proving that it's his baby.
Hey a minute. Wait. You just skirted past a lot there. You're not mad at him. So I even missed it. I'm just like, wait a minute. What? You're not mad at him for being with that, chef. He's like, you were sleeping. He was sleeping with her, right? And he just moves on. I'm like, but wait, chef. The only reason why we know about the chef is because she's making allegations, sir. Are we? You're not okay. You're just not even gonna. No, okay. You're just gonna make it about him being sleeping around. Okay, got it.
You know why I'm not mad? Because that man is
Because you're the same. Anyway,
doing exactly what women is allowing him to do. The women know.
Because it's our fault. Okay, so you're gonna skip past the whole bit of why we know about the chef in the first place, which is the allegation and the whole thing that he did. You're going to skip past that and you're going to blame it on women just allowing men to do these things. Got it. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
Women. They know that he's going to mess with multiple women, but yet they still decide to lay down with that.
Do they know that though? Because it sounds like Stefon Diggs is a really serious love bomber. So do they know that? I'm not sure they do know that. Yeah, misogynistic, absolutely. 110%. It's given a red pill. I'm just like, what are we doing? You didn't even address the situation. You're like, oh, he slept with her. And that's it. Like, are we serious right now?
Man, normally when somebody cheats, they usually cheat in private and quiet so they don't get caught. And the woman never finds out about it until years down the line. Stefon Diggs is doing this stuff out in the open. He don't care about getting caught. He don't care about getting busted. He don't care about who exposes him because he's doing exactly what y'all females is allowing him to do. So why come on here crying about him being with another woman and having another woman pregnant, and now you're pregnant by him? You knew what type of man he was.
Did she know what type of man he was? Because in the interview, she said that Stefon said, "I want to heal you," which was a major red flag in my mind, anyway. But it's a testament to the things that he was saying to her, right? So he was laying it on thick. I mean, the red flags were thick for me, but when you don't know these things, you're like, oh my gosh, she's really for me. And bear in mind that he took her on when she was pregnant with Offset's child. Blossom was still in the stomach when her and Stefon started dating. Still in stomach. So she gave birth to Blossom, and then he put another baby in that oven. What?
Before you got with him and got pregnant. That's why I say, y'all look at money.
I say he put another baby in the oven. She could have done a better job of protecting herself. She should have done a better job of protecting herself, 110%. But yeah, she was in another place. She wasn't in a psychologically strong enough place to date. Because the thing is, if you think about it, that pick-me energy, that codependent energy is going to be a lot stronger in the new relationship, right? Because now everything's riding on you finding this better person, right? You left that guy and now you're going to find someone better. So now you're going to do everything you can to make that other person, the next person that you meet, the better person, regardless of what they're showing you, which is why we shouldn't be dating, right? Give it a year and a half on your own, which is why we shouldn't be dating, because that codependent behavior is going to be cranked up to 155, right? In that next relationship, you got to reset, work on yourself so that you know how to manage that behavior at the very least. If you're not overcoming it, at the very least, you're aware of it and you know how to manage that behavior so it doesn't overtake you and you find yourself in a situation where you're literally pregnant a couple months later for a new crazy person. You know what I mean? Let's keep going.
And do y'all know this dude ain't giving these females no damn money? He ain't doing nothing but giving them pipe. He's doing exactly what y'all allow him to do. So why come on the internet crying about what Stefon Diggs is doing? Because y'all allowing him to do it. There ain't no way that some new woman gonna come on the scene and act like that she didn't know who he was, get pregnant by him, and act like that she's shocked and baffled because he got other women pregnant. Y'all women know exactly what y'all doing, so don't cry trying to get to the bag, having a baby by that man, and still not getting to the bag. You left with just the baby that you got to take care of and what, some child support? That's crazy to me. Nobody cares about the crying on the internet, man. Nobody cares. Go tell somebody who cares. Stop crying about a man that you know that's going to cheat on you, and then you get with the man anyway and thinking that your stuff is something different than the last woman. It's not, sweetheart. It's not. It's shaved or unshaved, period.
Yeah, he just shifted the whole conversation and made it about something else. So we minimized and then made it about something else he could argue more convincingly, which is what a lot of toxics do. So he is also toxic as far as I'm concerned. You're flying out toxic red flags right there. Let's keep going. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit that bell so you get a notification every time I go live. Let's keep going.
Getting caught up for putting Stefon Digg speaks out for the first time after getting caught up for putting hands on his female chef, allegedly. So you had the media finally being able to talk to Stefon Digg. As y'all can see, the brother looked beat down, right? He apologized to the media for not being available early. They have one more game left. He was at practice. It looks like Stefon is going to play.
And that's another thing about these very, very abusive, toxic, narcissistic, violent men. They are always very good at being polite. They got the P's and Q's down pat. I just want to apologize for not being here over the 2 days, but you were there doing that to a woman that you works for you, though, in her bedroom, and then throwing her that is fine. But leaving these people waiting, that's I just need to apologize for that. Like, please stop it. Let's keep it going.
It looks like the Patriots are standing with Stefon Diggs at this point, right? Stefon Diggs was charged with putting hands on his female chef, allegedly choking her or whatever like that. He's going to have to deal with those charges. A lot of times we see these teams release the players who, catch a charge, right? But it looks like he's going to be playing this week. He also went on to say, look, he can't talk about the case like that, right? You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's an ongoing case, man. He can't talk about it, but he was willing to answer any football-related questions. But, hey, he's going to have to deal with this situation now. The brother is innocent until proven guilty, even though when we look at the media, it looked like, hey, he already done did it. But the brother is innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly. I'm just like, whatever. The guy did it. I'm sorry. This guy has been all kinds of twisted. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else, but it's gone. So I'll just keep on going. Okay. Next. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section and give this video a thumbs up.
That wasn't the problem in a relationship. I think it's time to admit, y'all, Offset wasn't the problem in a relationship. I know. He cheated. He did this. He was wrong. I get it. But to know that this guy has 4 babies due in 1 year, he had a chef that he was laying with while you was dating them in the crib, and they was smashing. And you was in that rotation, and you act like you didn't see any of this while it was going on, and you chose to have a baby with this brother. We got to be honest. You are equal participant in this issue, because
that's crazy. Guys, so if you're lied to and deceived, and then you have a baby for that person, you're an equal participant and you knew all along. Is that what we're doing? Again, this is ridiculous. I don't think that Cardi would willingly go into that situation, because that would make her, it would embarrass the crap out of her. If she had seen it coming, she probably would have ran the other way as quickly as possible. Remember, this guy was on the phone to her, months into it, talking her around to dating him and all of that stuff. She would have been convinced that she was a different, even if there was a reputation before. She would have, like I said in the last video, she was eating up his love bombing, basically.
There is no way a woman that's married that got the stuff like she got going on is dealing with a brother that was this messy. Plus, you still going to see him unless you like this behavior. I'm starting to think Offset was sane, because as bad as he did you, he never did you like this publicly. He never did.
All right, so now that she went on to someone who's worse, Offset was not a problem. Even though after cheating on Cardi since the beginning of their relationship, he now wants to get more money out of her. Even though he is the reason she had to leave him in the first place. Like, even though that is the situation, because he terrorized her so much, now that she is finally divorcing him, he wants more money. But Offset is not the problem. All she actually did in that relationship was try to make it work and smile through all the embarrassment and the pain that he put her through. And then at the end of it all, he now wants to take more of her money, even though she has his kids to look after and he doesn't contribute to looking after those kids at all. Instead, he just wants to take her money. Like, what planet is this guy on that Offset was now not the problem? All right.
Respected you, and he never had this much stuff going away like this brother do. And let me say this: you still support him and going to his games? Yeah, I'm starting to think you like this. Maybe Offset was too calm for you, because this behavior is beyond traumatic and is beyond anything we could have ever imagined, man. Just my opinion.
Okay, question: when did she go to the game? Was it after the allegations? Guys, let me know. Has she been to any of his games since the allegations? Because I haven't heard anything about this, but maybe I just haven't heard it. Guys, let me know. I'm loading up the next couple of people and their opinions, because there are a lot of people with a lot of opinions. And as you can see, it's a mixed bag over here. You'd think they'd all be on the same lines, but nope. Nope. There are still crazy people coming out with crazy stuff. All right, let's go.
I'm someone who has watched Stefon Digg.
I can't remember whether I played that last time. I can't remember, but anyway, let's keep going.
Between Offset and Stefon Digg.
All right, next. Because a lot of people are drawing comparisons between the two now, and I'm just like, this is totally irrelevant. Like, why are we doing a Stefon Diggs versus Offset right now? Offset is sick. Stefon Diggs is sicker. Let's move on. Oh, right? We're not using one to cancel out the other. No.
At the beginning of.
All right, let's do these. I'll keep them up until.
Stefon
Digg. Uploading this until it's full. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the situation? Do you think that she knew about it going in? Do you think it's a PR relationship? Do you think she's getting paid? Now, if she comes out and acts like nothing actually happened, I will get on board with the PR relationship thing. I mean, can two things be true at the same time? Could she have been doing a PR relationship and getting back at Offset, and then kind of like the two things could be true? But if she doesn't have anything to say about the situation, then that's really bad. If she's going to carry on like nothing actually happened. Yeah.
Who has watched Stefon Digg since he was at Maryland, watched his entire NFL career. Why did you birds think that he was this upgrade from Offset? Like that,
I didn't.
That shit don't make sense. He's probably a worse man than Offset. You know, he just make He just got more guaranteed money and in better shape. He is a known womanizer. He has allegations of many things. Not even gonna get into that. But yeah, nigga, like I remember the video when he was playing in Minnesota, and they went around the locker room on Minnesota's social media page,
Yeah,
and they
we took
asked,
this one already. Let's go on to the next one.
It's so funny to me because seeing the difference between Offset and Stefon Diggs working out is so funny to me because Offset is struggling with 40 pounds and Stefon Diggs is clearing at least 345s. As a plus size girl, before I was in the gym, I was always attracted to lanky builds, right? But now that I've been in the gym and you get one with muscles on your body, the difference is astounding. It's crazy when they can really handle some pressure. As a thicker girly,
What are you talking about? I don't care. All right, so let's have a look at what we're gonna pause that woman because I don't even think she's even on track with the conversation that we got going on. Okay, could be both. Tiana and Aaron Pierre was a PR relationship as she came off of her divorce. Now I got to talk about Tiana Taylor and that disgusting relationship she was in for so long. Now I didn't like Aaron. I don't know whether I have said it in a live before, and I said it briefly because I was like I didn't have any proof, but I think Aaron is kind of like Michael B. Jordan. Like I don't like Michael B. Jordan either. I think that Harvey, what's her name? Is it? What's her name? What's her name? The girl that was going out with him and then basically she dumped him. Oh God, it's gone from me. Anyway, I think that she left him for good reason. I think he's a love bomber. I think he's an emotional head twister too. And I don't know about Aaron Pierre, but I didn't like them. I was like, why? I felt like he was using her for clout. That's basically that was my vibe of that relationship. So I didn't really pick up on the fact that it was a PR relationship, but if it was a PR relationship, that would make sense because I was just like, I feel like this is just a clout situation, right? And I feel like Tiana doesn't need to be in any kind of relationship with anyone right now. And like a lot of people are saying things like, oh yeah, but like Stefon was supposed to be for fun. He wasn't supposed to be serious. And she should have done a Tiana Taylor. I think you're missing the point, guys. You should not be in any area with any man after you have been in this toxic dynamic. You are vulnerable. You are likely to get yourself caught up in some mess. That is why you don't do it. Why would you? And anyway, in general, we need to raise our standards. Why would you spend time with? Why would you give your body to somebody who you don't see a relationship with? Who isn't good enough to be a boyfriend to you? Why would you give your body to that person? For what reason? And if it's to get over someone, I recommend you get over them in another way, because what are we doing? You're opening yourself up to diseases. You're opening up yourself to pregnancy. Even if you do use protection, it doesn't mean that that's 110%. So now you are putting yourself in a situation where you could get pregnant for a guy that you don't even think is good enough to be in a relationship with. What kind of sport is this that we have been brainwashed into engaging in as some sort of empowered move? That is not an empowering move. Like, we need to just cut it out. Like, we need to stop doing that. It does not make sense. It's a devaluing thing. And the only person that really benefits from it is the guy who gets some of you. Like, what are we doing? Oh, yeah, but like, he's not. I ran over. Next person, let's go.
To the chef, Stefon Diggs literally said, compliments to the chef, not enough. I have to fuck the chef. I have to bend her over in this kitchen right now. All right? She has to live in my house. She has to have a room in my house. Stefon Diggs is the type of man to where if you are a woman in his proximity, no matter what the occupation is, he has to be able to fuck you. If he can't fuck you, you can't be around him. He's that type of nigga. It don't matter what you want.
It's about control. It's about having leverage, having control over you, having you emotionally in a fog over the situation. If he can't sleep with you, he cannot manipulate and have you in a fog as easily. That is the whole point. Like, when we as women sleep with a guy, we bond with him. This is because of our because we could have babies at any time, right? So we are bonded to the person through the oxytocin. We start bonding with that person, regardless of what we might think is acceptable and unacceptable, right? The better the sex is, the more you're going to bond with that person. That is why he has to sleep with all the women, because he wants you in that space. He doesn't want you in a clear space where you're just like, what are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? Like, he needs you loved up. He needs you kind of like wanting him or being attached to you. He needs you in that space so he can manipulate it. That's what that is about. And ladies, when you just have sex with someone that you know isn't the thing, you are putting yourself in that vulnerable situation. For what reason would you do that? For someone that isn't even worth it. Like, come on, we got to get smarter than this. We got to get smarter than this.
Teacher, officer, cook, whatever. Just look at the woman he hired. She looks like a copy and paste of all his baby mamas. This nigga cannot control himself. He does not have any self-control. And honestly, all of you are shocked. I don't know why. Y'all all thought Cardi B was upgrading. No. Maybe in terms of money, but this nigga is just...
I was not shocked.
Offset in sport mode. He's just Offset with cleats and a helmet on, with shoulder pads. He's the same man with different braids. And honestly, Cardi B was gonna have this lifestyle regardless if she was famous or not. She was always gonna have 2 baby daddies. She was always gonna have the same temperament and the same life, just based upon who she is and how she thinks. She doesn't care. She never cares. At the end of the day, if you're a woman and you don't want to get fucked, stay away from that man. He doesn't care who you are.
I don't know if she doesn't care. I just think that she's like
honestly
probably a lot embarrassed right now. See, she's trying to act like she doesn't care. Just kind of move past it. Because, you know, it's just not a good look, is it? Let's keep going. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
I don't know if Cardi B honestly realizes the situation she's in. Stefon Diggs is a known womanizer, right? The proof is in last year, in which he has 3 or 4 newborns within months apart, right? Which is clearly a red flag in itself, right? Because that means that this man was sleeping with multiple women around the same time. I actually wonder if people worry about STDs anymore. But I digress. So he had multiple babies within a year.
It's insane to me. When I saw the lineup, I was like, all right, you just need to leave him just for that. You just need to leave him just for that, because that, if you got lucky enough to come out of that clean, just get out of there now, because that is going to continue, right?
There are multiple baby mamas, but the only known one for real is Cardi, right? Cardi B is a celebrity.
And I'd be pissed if I was Cardi. I would be like, so you mean to tell me that you slept with all these women and then came back to give me whatever they had? I mean, luckily what they had hopefully was nothing, but you came back to give me whatever they had, and you trying to tell me that you love me. Like, get out my face. Like, this is the type of response that I would be thinking at this point, knowing everything. You cannot continue after, well, you can, but it's not wise to continue after that point.
She's the one in the spotlight. And I feel like Cardi B thinks because she's Cardi B that she's different in this situation, and she's not. Like, I don't know if they're in a relationship. I think she's called him her man, but anyways, if they are in a relationship, do you really think you're being faithful, girl? And it's like, who am I to tell a grown woman whether or not she made the right decision? But I just be like, Cardi, man, he was just supposed to be for fun. He was supposed to be for a good time, not a long time. I think people...
Yeah, but you're not supposed to be having this kind of fun. Like, I don't mean to be a killjoy, but like, stop with this fun. It's not fun. You're putting yourself in stupid situations, right? Sorry. Let me get back.
People be forgetting how permanent babies are and kids are. It's not just until they're 18 that you're going to be tied to this person, right? You're going to be tied with them for life. And now he has multiple other women that he has to deal with for life, as well as Cardi. So what makes her think that she's different? I don't know. Child, I don't know how this is going to end, but I don't think it's going to be well.
It's not going to be well. Okay. The Good Life Starter Pack says, I think she meant that she was always going to have this lifestyle and doesn't care. All right, okay. Because Cardi used to, yeah, I remember strep rob, all of this. And I found out something else that she used to do that was one of these people on this, the Court of Public Opinion shared. And I was like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Maybe if I have it here, you'll hear it. Was always about the bag. Yeah, but what bag was she making promoting Stefon Diggs and having a baby with Stefon Diggs? Like, what's the bag? Where was the bag in that? You know what I mean? There's some. I think it was.
They had buku children, which anybody who actually loved Cardi B got with Offset at the beginning of her career. He already had buku children, which anybody who actually loved her should have told her, it's too many niggas out here. You could get any other nigga with no kids, but she got with that one. She got pregnant like a year or so after, like she got pregnant like a year or so after they was together, maybe 2. He cheated on her while she was pregnant. He cheated on her with every pregnancy. He was cheating on her when she wasn't pregnant. And then she still kept fucking him and getting pregnant again. After she got on her Instagram rant and was screaming and saying he was ungrateful, she got fucked him again and got pregnant again. They was going to have that divorce the first time, and then like she obviously took him back. But it's like, you let this.
And here's the thing: like, marriage doesn't even protect you, does it? Because like he got even Offset got someone else pregnant, so he was out there having unprotected sex outside and bringing that inside. Right? So you got to be careful who you marry and who you give that trust to, because that also puts you in a very vulnerable position. Because in that, okay, so a lot of married people do have unprotected sex, right? And in that, they can, if they're sleeping around, can bring you all kinds of diseases. It's not just about pregnancy. So we got to be so careful. Obviously, we can't have all the control over that. We can't know all the things all the time, obviously. But when we see those red flags, we got to take heed. It's not a joke. It's not a joke, right? At this point, Cardi needs to take heed of the position he put her in already. He's already put her in this position where she could be dead in 6 months due to some disease that he's given her. So that should be enough for her to leave that situation. That's how seriously we have to take it. And in that, she can then skip all of the other drama that he's about to bring her way. If we could just put our safety and our health first, that could, help us in this. 18 years on child support at 10K per month, maybe more. Frankly, I think it was a PR relationship and she got pregnant. An accident. Yeah, it was definitely an accident. I can't imagine her doing that on purpose. That would be really silly. Or to make Offset jealous. Both. I think both. I think it was an accident and to make her jealous.
They keep cheating on you. And you kept taking her back. Then you sat here and got with a new nigga that had buku children while you was pregnant. He had bitches that was already pregnant or just finna have a baby too. Then you told her she got pregnant in the bathroom of a boat, and now you telling people to shut up. You don't tell nobody nothing you don't want them to talk about. Why the fuck would you even tell nobody that you got pregnant in the bathroom on a boat? The same boat your nigga was on, and people were saying he was cheating on you on the boat, doing too much with them white girls on that boat. And now you saying people been too mean, you done already had the baby. The point is, people told you don't get with no nigga, don't get with that nigga, and don't have no baby by the nigga. You was never supposed to have no baby by that nigga anyway. You already had 3 kids by a nigga that hate you. And then you sat up here and had a kid by another nigga that also had kids on the way as well. You talking about the ghetto always finds you. Bitch, you ghetto. It's like the ghetto is finding you because you ghetto too, girl. You like that type of shit. Okay, like, you like that shit. Don't forget, Tommy, the first nigga we ever knew you to be around or like on the internet, was in jail while he was in Love and Hip Hop. And then, honestly, when you sat on that girl man lap and you was her and wanting to fight her at that reunion, you was trying to fight that girl at that reunion, and because you said you could take her fucking man, and then look at you, got married, and bitches fucking all your niggas to the ground. They did mine like that too, but at least the internet don't actually know who and when, where, what, and how and shit.
I didn't know that she did that. But Yeah, there's another person that talks about it in a bit more detail about that, because I don't follow like reality TV like that unless I'm doing some sort of like breakdown. But apparently she was on there doing some stuff. Guys, fill me in the comments. What did she do? Why was she teasing that person? I don't know. Let's move on. And
Players that
also,
are
do you agree with the take of, oh, she must like it? I don't think she likes it. I think that her nervous system is used to it. I think that she is accustomed to toxic dynamics, which makes her probably less alert to the red flags that are in front of her. I think that's probably part of it, because that's a trauma response that can happen sometimes, right? Because you get so used to the toxicity, you don't really see the red flags as seriously as the red flags are. That's the thing. But as for liking it, I don't think she does. But guys, you tell me your thoughts.
much like Stefon Diggs, right? So here's the problem with Stefon Diggs and players that are much like Stefon Diggs, right? You know, it's not just the talent, and it's really not even about the headlines, if we're being completely honest. It's a pattern that people are noticing and they're seeing. It's honestly becoming repetitive. See, because like when reports come out, again, involving allegations of like violence, conflict, or even aggression, the public stops asking, like, did this really happen? And it shifts to now people starting to think and say, oh, this sounds like him. It's becoming a repetitive thing, right? And that is where, to me, where it gets dangerous, you know? And I'll even say this, you know, Cardi B even once said, like, they love to build you up just to watch you fall. But what she really didn't say, or what she should be saying, is sometimes a fall starts with silence and not just a scandal, right? Because whether or not, you know, these allegations of him assaulting or choking a private chef are proven or not, here's the PR truth. Perception moves faster than facts a lot of these times. And to me, you know, Stefon Diggs is no longer just an elite wide receiver. You know, he's a brand, he's a headline, and he's a storyline. And right now, the storyline is starting to now form being volatile, unpredictable, or even trouble on the field. And as a publicist, I can say that once this narrative starts repeating it, it often becomes sticky, and to be honest with you, it's hard to shake. And the public doesn't track core documents. They track vibes. They track.
Wait, pause, sir. Pause. Because are you trying to tell me that this reputation is a result of what he's been doing on the field? And now you're trying to spin it like, oh, right, you know, these allegations are coming up. What is happening? These allegations are coming up based on the things that he has done. Allegedly, right? And it's not sport related. So now you're saying he's a brand, and what you're trying to imply here is because he's a brand, people are taking advantage. Please, it's the oldest line in the book, and I think we should leave it alone. And the reason why there are so many allegations coming out, and it's over and over again, is because of his character. And if you're talking about athletes in general, the reason why it's happening over and over again is because athletes is one of the top 10 professions for abusive men. It's in the top 10. So you should look at the guy who's an athlete and look at that and really study him more closely than other professions, because he is an athlete and he's likely to be toxic, narcissistic, and abusive, especially in the football field, because anything that requires them getting hit in the head, football, American football, boxing, there's a high chance that guy's going to be in some way toxic, narcissistic, or abusive. All right. So that's probably the reasons. And it's probably the reason why his team or his his people are behind him, because they're used to this. It's happening all the time within the world of athleticism. It's happening all the time because their men are toxic, narcissistic, and abusive. But let him continue on with this whatever this is. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
Your repetitiveness of what you do, what you're known for doing. And right now, the vibe for him is, why is this happening again, or why he's in this again, right? And unfortunately, this is a trap that, to me, many athletes fall into, right? Let's be honest, a lot of them are trained to be aggressive. A lot of them are rewarded for dominance. But off the field, you know, that same energy, you know, unmanaged, it has, or it can become a liability for your brand or overall career, right? And when reporters, involve women.
Okay, so it'll be a liability for your brand or overall career, but not a liability for your partner. Got it. Okay, got it.
In power dynamics or employees or these reports, the margin for grace, unfortunately, especially if you're a black athlete, it shrinks to zero.
Oh, now we're gonna throw Gunner in there. Oh my God, we're gonna throw Gunner in there because he's a black athlete. Don't forget that.
Because for these athletes, I wish they understood, that PR doesn't care how good you are on a Sunday at a game. If by Monday morning it consists of bringing or bridging damage control for some things you've done in the past or currently. So with all of that, is there something that he can kind of flip with this, or any other athlete that's in this position, or kind of flip this narrative of being volatile? I think he has to like stop letting the silence speak, just not being denial and not do like an Instagram quote or a prayer scripture. There needs to be a controlled, genuine, strategic response that shows some accountability with him without self-incrimination. Let's be completely honest, right? I think secondly, he needs to change the frame of the situation, and it isn't really too much about defending his ego. To me, it's about demonstrating growth, like structure and overall his boundaries. I think he needs a visible professional support group, like some PR counsel, some therapy, real therapy, personal development work, like some behavior management. And I wouldn't do this behind closed doors. I would purposely clearly communicate this and make it visible to the public, right? But just being completely honest, though, consistency will be trump anything over his charisma. Like, one apology won't fix his pattern of behavior. Only time or straight in alignment of his actions will really tell this if it's genuine or not. And, I want these athletes or their teams, like their PR people, their managers, to grasp this concept. Like, in today's media climate, like, talent buys attention, but discipline, it buys longevity. And low-key, if I work with an athlete, I would make them recite that daily, because what people are doing, people like Stefon now, are damaging themselves before they're even legendary. If it doesn't interrupt or disrupt his narrative soon, the headline surely will damage and define his legacy and what he's doing.
Okay, so the headline is this abstract thing that's come along to ruin his career. And what we got to do now is do better at managing his image. So he can't come out. This is what he's saying in translation. He can't come out and just do a prayer post. No, he's got to come out and say something that shows some genuine accountability. So this guy is just all about how to clean up his image. Wow. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's keep going. This is the one that made me think about the STDs, because I'm just like, be serious right now.
So you telling me he got all 4 of them pregnant at the same time? I get it. Don't get me wrong. That's damn near diabolical. But
it's not diabolical, it's dangerous.
I get it.
That's enough to finish with someone right there. Guys, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
You my baby mama. Okay, y'all, let's talk about the famous quote. You my baby mama. I won. I saved this picture for this exact reason, because I knew this shit was gonna bite Cardi B in the ass. Because I too was Cardi B. And what I mean by that, so in most cases, most women make dumb decisions when they're hurt or when they in this so-called healing process. People were saying that Offset was jealous. He was just hating on her. He mad. He mad that she done moved on. No, Offset knew that this nigga wasn't shit. Most of the time when we leave our spouse, this happened to me. Look, your ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, he gonna do his research on every nigga you fuck with after him. And as soon as somebody comes to him with some information that nigga ain't shit, your ex just gonna watch from afar and watch you crumble. Offset was never hating. He knew about these baby mamas before Cardi B did. Just think about it. Offset was fucking Stefon best friend, knowing she was laid up there pillow talking all this shit. And you heard what that chef said, the chef that she said, you got a whole circus going on over there. You gonna have to pay me my money. So no telling what else was going on up in there. I'm not gonna lie. The only time that I see a woman winning is if she leave that nigga and she ain't got no kids with him. Other than that, man, if you walk out of any situation, you got a child by that man, he won. Sad to say, but that's just the truth. But don't ever think that the nigga that you fucking with after the other nigga is better than the nigga that you just left. 9 times out of 10, he even worse. So Offset was never hating. He just knew that Stefon wasn't shit. And around the time that Cardi B released that album, Offset started doing interviews. Like he did one with what's the girl name? Shit. Keke Palmer. I feel like Offset said, you know what? He did his interview. He talked about the marriage. He apologized. He wanted himself out of the media because he knew that this shit was finna come down crumbling. I ain't gonna lie. You got 3 kids with the nigga. Either you just gonna go, get single, do your own thing, or just go back to your fucking husband. Hey.
No.
The dating pool, rich or poor, got piss in it. It don't matter.
Yeah, so if it's got piss in it, stay on the sidelines, but don't go back to your cheating, emotionally abusive. No, she was doing well until she got there, and I'm like, let's stop that right there.
I Kim K this shit. I just be single and live my motherfucking life. It's okay to be single. Just take care of your kid. Focus on your kid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She saved herself there. Hi, I'm awake. I missed you a couple of weeks in. She sounds simple. An assessment from a terrible, abusive, manipulative partner, Offset, is no endorsement. Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. I was going to say a few things. Most men in sports are terrible. He could have said that about 90% of them and been right. Exactly. Happy New Year, sweetheart. Exactly. I'm going to put this up on the screen so other people can see it. That's what we're doing now, because sometimes I don't even read half the thing. I just actually start responding to it without reading it so that everybody else can see it. You're right, though. Absolutely. 110%. And the thing is as well, like if he told her, that's the thing. Even because I was thinking, I wonder if Offset told her likelihood. What do you think the likelihood is of Offset telling her about Stefon Diggs? I think they're pretty high, but even in that, why would she listen to him? Right? So now she would feel even more silly with everything coming out now. If she didn't know before and Offset told her and she didn't listen to him, and rightly so, because the guy is literally a head case, and she wasn't about to ruin a relationship over her ex telling lies, which he made a career out of doing. Yeah, she would be feeling quite silly right now, I would think. Right? Let's get the others up. Still in the court of public opinion. We got a lot of opinions. Lot of opinions going on right now, but they're good ones. Not all along the same vein. Surprising. And I didn't have the chance to listen to all of these because that would take all year. So a lot of it's going to be like authentic response from me too, because
Cardi B.
This one I listened to, and she makes some very good points. Because
whatever they
which one is this one? That one. Here we go.
reality is.
Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think she should do now? Because I think that she's trying to just make the best of it. What do you think? What would you do in that situation?
I did not go to school at the same time as him, but I know people.
Oh, this one's interesting.
Talk about the famous quote, "You my baby mama."
No. We got that one. Let's put this one in.
Firm have valid stories.
Okay. So this woman went to the same school as him and was a year below or above. I think she was below. But anyway, let's keep going. Listen to what she had to say.
Right. So I did not go to school at the same time as him, but I know people who were in the same grade as him. And I know let's just say individuals that I can confirm have valid stories about him. All right.
Okay, so she didn't go to school at the same time. Anyway, point is, she knows stuff about him. Let's keep going.
I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. He showed up to freshman orientation, 2 ankle bracelets on, 1 on each ankle. That's kind of impressive. He would be standing at the door of the boys' bathroom, right? And as girls would walk by, he'd like motion towards them because he wanted them to go into the bathroom with him to hook up. And some of them did. Oh! Some of them did. He got caught in a supply closet, okay, with another girl. Something unchristian was happening. A teacher found them. She locked the door, right, to keep them in there. Got some more teachers. Opened up the door. Tell me why only the girl was standing there. And everybody knew it was him. There was no one else who had the audacity in that school to do something like that, right? So they look up into that supply closet. There's like a panel in the ceiling that's been removed. This man, Spider-Man, his way up and went out. Abandoned her. And by the way, she was 10 toes down. She did not snitch, even though, again, everybody knew who it was. I mean, he was getting loyalty from these girls that was completely unwarranted. He stole a bunch of like soccer t-shirts that they were selling for, I don't know.
This is the bit that stands out to me. The general womanizing bit. He's a football player. You know what I mean? Or was he playing football at college though? I'm not sure, but he was obviously popular with the ladies. Okay, right. But this bit is what stands out to me as psycho. Narcissistic behavior.
He stole a bunch of like soccer t-shirts that they were selling for, I don't know, to raise money for getting new cleats or shin guards. I don't know what soccer players wear. And everyone's like, where did these shirts go? He comes to school the next day wearing one of the shirts, again, that are completely missing. And they're like, Stefon, did you steal the shirts? And he looks at them dead in the eye and says, no. I'm not gonna lie. Is that diabolical? Yes. Is that also kind of funny? Yes. And here's the thing. He was so talented as a full.
Here's the thing, is also quite twisted because this is what narcissistic people in particular will do, because they want you to know that they've done the thing. So that's why when they cheat on you, they tell on themselves in certain ways so that they can let you know that they did the thing, even if they don't admit the thing fully. So he's doing that, a different version of that, by wearing the t-shirt and then saying no. You know what I mean? He's telling on himself, but also denying it at the same time. It's twisted and it's very narcissistic. So, yeah.
Well, player, he never got into trouble. I mean, clearly he's now an actual professional athlete. He was that good. So he got away with everything. You don't pull stunts like this unless you know you can get away with it. And he did.
And that is the person that Cardi B is dealing with. Not good. Okay. The Good Life Starter Pack says there's no making the best of a sister-wife situation. Exactly. Cardi needs to get out of there. She needs to get out now. Move on. Cut your ties. Even before the allegation, she needed to get out of there. Now the allegations come up. Quick, smart, and in a hurry. Girl, just get out.
Only person that can save this situation that Cardi B is in at this moment is motherfucking Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner, we need you. Cause Cardi B team is bullshit. I don't want to see Cardi B go down. Not like this, Lord Jesus. I'd rather see Cardi B have a goddamn street fight with Nicki Minaj than to have her to go down over a nigga. You hear me? And I was wondering, I'm like, why Offset doing all these interviews? He released the album, then he started doing all these interviews to just, talk about the marriage. I'm sorry for this and that. He was stepping out of the way because he knew what was finna go the fuck down. Just go home, your family, man. Man, just go home to your family. Let that nigga go be with them motherfucking kids and them women. The only thing Cardi B did was gave you hoes hope. The hoes that stayed with the nigga that had a baby, 5 babies on them. She gave y'all hope. But some of you hoes were cheering this shit on because y'all still at the house laid up with the nigga that had all them kids on you, and y'all got all them kids in that motherfucking house. Cardi B still has.
Which is why I don't like this. This is why I don't like the widespread support of this type of thing, because what she's encouraging is dysfunction. Anybody's like in that situation also needs to get out of it, because it's not going to end well for you either, right? Looking at Cardi B as an example is not a good look, because she is going down the wrong road at high speed, okay? Straight into a wall. So don't use Cardi B as comfort right now. Aunt Boo says Cardi needs to focus on herself 110% and her children. Her kids are going to be on TikTok complaining about her when they get older. She needs to just focus on herself. This is yeah.
Have time to get out this bullshit. I feel like she need Kris Jenner because let me tell you something. Kim Kardashian that shit. Baby, be single and worry about my motherfucking kid. Play with some niggas here and there. Don't get pregnant and make that motherfucking money.
Stop.
Cause to me it look like Cardi B trying to force her way to look through this shit and make her head hurt. Like I said, and I'm glad that Cardi B made a video because she said, look, I'm just trying to focus on my tour. So Kris Jenner, please, come on. She needs somebody good on the PR team.
Do you agree with that? Can Kris Jenner clean up the situation? If so, how? I don't know. I mean, she has made a billion? Is she a billionaire? Million? Whatever. You know, out of her child sleeping with a guy on tape. So I guess she knows how to clean up something.
Creators are talking about Cardi B. I've noticed that when a lot of creators are talking about Cardi B, they make sure to only stick to the facts, right? They don't use any opinionated language. They don't use any inflammatory language. Even their tone of voice is very neutral. Anytime it involves Cardi B or anybody that Cardi B is affiliated with, including Stefon Diggs, right? So here we have a man who is accused of violence for the third time in the year, right? And people who usually feel so comfortable talking about another artist using the most inflammatory, derogatory, degrading language now are crickets about Cardi B, right? And I don't give a fuck what you bitches say, right? You hoes ain't never gonna tell me who I can fuck with, who I can talk about, who I can associate and affiliate with. There are clearly influencers on this app who get paid to speak a certain way about certain artists and get paid not to speak about others. It's very fucking clear, and I'm not finna be pretending like it's not fucking happening. But you bitches can continue along with your group think and your public narratives that are clearly being orchestrated by mass media. Because I ain't heard nosy bystander say a fuck ass thing. Let's be fucking clear and precise. Bitches keep their language very fucking neutral when they're talking about Cardi B. And I find that fucking weird, odd, and suspicious. And to me, it lacks integrity. Right? I've been blocked hoes. Hoes been blocked off my list. But I will start blocking.
I mean, yeah, the whole thing is messy out there on social media. Now, are they being paid? They might not be being paid, but they might be being penalized for talking about it in a certain way. You know, because they do that. They limit your views and stuff like that if you're not talking about the people that they want you to talk about in the way that you want them to talk about them. That happens on social media a lot. Like if you watch the Johnny Depp documentary, it breaks it down how they do that. So they might not be getting paid, but they could be getting penalized, which would stop their pay. Do you know what I mean? That is also a thing.
More bitches because I see it for what it is, and I think it's weird. Like, we can all agree that, you know, all of these people are flawed in general, right? But going out your way to frame one as the ultimate bad guy and the other could do no wrong, I got a problem with that.
Okay, good point. The good life starter pack said, nah, Kasha K is why they don't talk reckless about Cardi B. That's true. That is true, because didn't she say that she's got like a venereal disease, STD, and then she got sued. She got sued badly for that. That's true. But can they really? I mean, she only got sued because it was like defamation because it wasn't true. But like, you know, nobody's talking about I suppose they're sticking to the facts, which is just that, just sticking to the facts. That makes sense. I hear what you're saying. I hear what she's saying, and I hear what you're saying there. True. Aunt Boo says she's a codependent pick me. with an ego. Who is a codependent pick me with an ego? Please clarify. Are we talking about Cardi B or someone else or Kris Jenner? Because you gave that comment when the Kris Jenner thing was going on. Okay, and then you say Kris Jenner better worry about Kourtney and her abusive narc marriage. Kourtney is in an abusively wait, Kourtney. Which one's Kourtney? I'm sorry, I don't even follow this either. Wasn't she with Scott? Is it Kourtney that was with Scott Disick? Kourtney. Because they were all in some sort of toxic nonsense, right? Because I can't remember their names. Honestly, I can't. But they're all in some toxic situation. They all seem to get into it. 4 million, I think. 4 million? Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the suing. I get you saying. Yeah, she got sued badly. And I don't even think, I just think that Tasha K just didn't really get a grasp of how big she was when she was saying this stuff. She was kind of like just going on her old. Anyway, I'm not going to defend her. Let me just keep going. Yeah. Cardi. Oh, you're saying that Cardi is pick me. Codependent. She is codependent. She's very codependent. I was talking about that earlier. I think that comes not just from the situation with Offset, but also from her upbringing.
Okay with her man.
Culturally.
So Cardi B was okay with her man having a private live-in chef who had her own room in her man's house. And that
Yeah, but that's one way to think about it. But then he told the chef to leave when Cardi was coming over. So did Cardi even know about her? Question. Because we know this guy is outrageous. He's diabolical. So who did she even know?
police report on page 2
The
is
man stole a jersey, came into school with the jersey, and categorically denied stealing it while swearing it. You don't want any kind of relationship with a guy like that. There was no trust to be built with a guy like that. Guys, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
says Stefon asked her to vacate her room for a week because he was having guests come over and that she would have to go home. And allegedly, this is his chef. This is crazy. Then in the text messages, she called everything a circus, like she been seeing people go in and out the house. And then from the text messages, these do not look like regular text messages. In my opinion, it looks intimate. It doesn't look professional at all. Now, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. These are some very serious allegations. On page 2 of her police report, she did say that when she spoke to him again, he told her to talk to Melissa, in which Melissa told her that Diggs wanted her to sign a NDA. Money is involved, so maybe they will get this handled outside the court.
Oh yeah, that's the bit that Tisa Tells was talking about. So after he did the he said he would give her money as long as she signed an NDA. So he would give her the money that he owed her and that she worked for as long as she signed an NDA to just basically be quiet. That is coercion. That she didn't sign the NDA. Brilliant, great move. That is coercion. Because what are you talking about? If I sign this, you're going to give me the money that you owe me anyway. Like, make it make sense. Absolutely not. But yeah, that's what I mean by Tisa Tells gives us more information, because here they're just kind of running through it. But if you know more about the way that he tried to silence her by being like, okay, I'm going to give you the money, but sign this. Disgusting. So he's professional manipulating. I mean, we knew he was a professional manipulator anyway, but that just goes to show even more. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
Whatever they said Stefon Diggs did, he did that shit.
Pause. I love her glasses, by the way, but let's keep going. And she's right. He did that.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Allegedly, but I believe it.
I feel like the man is out here trying to populate the planet to prove that his penis is capable so that he can have relations with men in private without y'all questioning him after he finishes putting all of these kids out. Men like that be violent. Plus, football makes violent men, you know? And his other one brother and then the other brother, don't none of y'all look like y'all was raised right. Y'all was just all raised to play football. I don't know him. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm open to it, girl. I'm not 100%. But my opinion, my feeling is, whatever they say Stefon Diggs did, he did that shit.
I agree with her. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this video,
This is just not someone.
Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you get a notification every time I go live. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
And the reality is, Stefon Diggs is just not someone you should be letting hit raw. Like
110%. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Thank you. Look at this situation right here. Look at it. This guy's going to get an STD at some point. There's only so many times you could play Russian roulette with your life before Saturn's going to get got. You don't want to be there doing any kind of unprotected anything when he gets got.
Like, that's just the reality of it. Like, I've never heard one single good thing about Stefon Diggs as a person. Not that I can call off the top of the dome. I'm reading up on these assault allegations he has. Why do you always have some type of allegations? DL allegations, child allegations, now assault allegations. Like, I can't stand a man that's always going through something, because all the things you're going through is a product of your own doing. And it's like, even Cardi's PR team can't save him. And I spoke about this before. I think Cardi has one of the best PR teams in the game. Like, out of the rap girls, I think she has one of the best teams. And I've talked about this before when they had her going to the to his game and she was in the all maroon fit. Like, the team, I can tell they're working overtime to make it look better than what it is, but it's like, that's not going to save him because he's not a good person. And it's like, yes, Cardi's fits be sickening. I love the all maroon Bottega. I love this last look she wore on Sunday, vintage Chanel, with the blonde wig and the pearl bag, looking like Barbie. But that's not going to save him. Like, from all his teammates saying that he's the teammate they would want their sister to date the least. I don't find stuff like that funny. That's telling to me. From all the kids, all the baby mamas, he just got too much going on. And I think if it's true what Cardi said about, he was talking about some let me heal you, I think it's something very sinister if you said that and then you are making the conscious decision to put yourself in a position where you can get her pregnant when you know she just came out of a bad situation. And it's like, this is the first thing you do. And I'm not saying that she's not responsible for herself as well, but like, I wouldn't even let a nigga like that play with me. I wouldn't even touch that. But I get it if you wanted to, but that's not somebody you hit raw. That's somebody shimmy on a Jimmy. Okay, I just feel like there are plenty of other dudes who would have been more than happy to heal Cardi and would not have put a baby in her immediately and would have allowed her to, you know, regain her traction. You know, she has to put out an album. You know, she has to tour. Now she busy at your football game instead of spending time with her kids because of all the things you have going on, and she has to save face. It's just, do not let these dudes hit raw in 2026, ladies.
Thank you. I'm with her on that, 110%. Okay. Dated a football player for a week. He was, he did in fact have a temper. Yeah. I dated a boxer for a short amount of time. Champion leagues, talking major league boxer. Temper. The, another boxer, I dated too. Champion League again, head case. They're not well. They're not well. Okay, I do not recommend. I do not recommend. Cardi's team could be better media training. Cardi's team could be better media training. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by that? Please explain. Courtney is the one married to Travis. Oh, Barker. Right. Okay. Because she was one with Scott Disick. She was with Scott Disick before. This is what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. He abused and alienated his ex-wife, and he used to like him. Oh, wow. Well, she was with Scott, who was also abusive for years and had a, problem. You know what I mean? So, not surprising. Not surprising at all. Yeah. Let's keep it going. Got to do better at protecting ourselves, ladies.
Turns out
Even when we're on a rebound, just stop. Let's just take rebounding out of the equation, right? Let's heal the right way.
I would not be shocked if Cardi B turns out to be the alleged girlfriend who was trying to pay off the victim of Stefon Diggs in this case. Because let's make it very clear. We're talking.
If it is her, it's a reflection of her codependent behavior right here. Because now she's trying to save him. Instead of concentrating on the fact that this guy is abusive and dangerous, she's trying to save him from the allegations using her money. Codependent, straight up codependent behavior right there. Instead of protecting herself and running the other way, she's trying to use her clout to get him out of the situation. Yeah. If it is her. He clearly has many girlfriends though, so.
Talking about the same woman who used to drug men and rob them. The same woman who hired other women to go beat up her ex's mistresses. And then y'all like to play these games of painting Cardi B as this amazing person, and then you pin her against Nicki Minaj and say she's a better person than Nicki Minaj when they are literally two sides of the same coin. They're the same women. And these are the type of women that I would not be caught dead hanging around with in real life if they were regular people just like us. And from what we're seeing, these
would you say they were the same people? I mean, despite nobody likes Nicki Minaj right now because of what she did with the political stuff, right? We get that, but like, would you say they were the same people in regards to the way they act around men? I would agree with that because they are both codependent people, both codependent women, and they will do what they need to do in order to keep their man.
Two women are not that good. They don't seem to be.
I mean, they're doing different things, or are they really doing different things? Because didn't Nicki Minaj pay somebody to get rid of the allegations from her husband as well? So it's literally the same thing. Cardi and Nicki are both male-centered picnics. Yeah, exactly. Codependents. Both codependents. Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's the same person. They might be doing different actions, although in this case, I think they did the exact same action. If she did do it.
Good people. A lot of your favorites, artists, a lot of them are not good people. And when we speak out against these celebrities and their antics, it's never to look down on them. It's never to try and change their mind and say, hey, you should live your life like this. That's not what it is. When we talk about it, we're speaking to the youth and those who are easily influenced by them. We speak to youth and say, hey, that behavior is not okay. If you follow their footsteps, it might land you in jail. It might destroy your life. That is not the best way to live your life. That is toxic. And
that is what I find so worrying about these, outside and all of that stuff. It's like, mate, stop telling the masses to go outside when they get when they leave a relationship that's toxic. That is the dumbest advice there is. Okay, like, I know you want to sell an album, but can we get like, no, right? Stuff like that. This is why, because we're influencing the youth.
Yourself. And also let's
so infecting the youth with this insane, nonsensical behavior that lands you in trouble, like 99.9% of the time. And even the ones that are like, I found myself a good man. I would like to see the inside of that relationship, because what she thinks is good and what is actually good are, I believe, two different things a lot of the time. It's like, how do you know it's good? Because it looks different from the last one. Different is different. Doesn't mean it's any better. You know what I mean? It's just a different kind of like situation. I mean, I think I saw a thing on TikTok where the woman was saying a lot of women who are married are just accepting lower and higher lower levels and higher levels of emotional abuse or some kind of abuse in those relationships. And that is a lot of the time true. They just don't know that's what they're dealing with. Right. So that's why I say, oh, you found a good man. Okay, show me the inside of your relationship and let me confirm. Because I'm sure if you were in a state when you met them and then you found them and then you got lucky, I'm sure that you actually didn't get lucky. I'm sure that you're dealing with some other toxic crap that you don't even know is toxic crap. I'm pretty sure of it. And that's why I say stop dating. You do not have your judgment intact. Right?
Let's be very clear. Her and Stefon Diggs are also similar. The things that I'm hearing about Stefon and what he used to do, they're similar. They move shady. They both move shady and grimy. Like, you can like your faves. You can listen to their music, but don't act like that like they're this person that they're not. See them for who they are.
True. I agree with that. I'm all about that. Media training is what athletes do with a PR professional. Given messaging points and coached on not to veer from that. Okay. Oh, I get what you mean by media training now. Yeah. They are coached on how to preserve a positive media image. Sure. So you're saying Cardi B's team needs to be better. Yeah, they need to coach her right out of that relationship. That's what they need to do. She needs to be coached right out of that relationship because what are we doing? Absolutely not. I don't know why she's still there. There should be an announcement to say that she broke up with him. Please, Cardi, do not die on this hill with this person who does not give a crap about you. He does not give a crap about her because if he did, he never would have exposed her to whatever nonsense he's got going on in the way that he has already. That's enough proof for me. I don't
you
need,
have the same man without having the same man.
I don't need for her to die of some disease or for her to get hit upside her head to work out that he doesn't care about this woman.
Cardi B
Right, we're
situation would
coming
have
to
been
the end
far
of this
more
now. Wait.
satisfying if she didn't have.
Hang on. Oh, that was the lady that was going on about how, it's just the body aesthetic. Like, oh, we could do it like a man. You can't. Like, your hormones are completely different from men. Makes us much more vulnerable
Just living in her.
when we start getting intimate. We need to start respecting that instead of denying it, because denying it gets us into all kinds.
Something out because the side.
That's what I like to see more of in 2026, us respecting ourselves as women in regards to what that actually means. All right.
You can date the same man, but he can be different to every.
This video did not age well. I wanted to bring it up because it did not age well and it proves my point entirely. This is some twisted mythological. This is a twisted mythological perspective on men and toxic situations. Listen to what she says. Absolute rubbish, but we gotta hear it.
Now, this is how you have the same man without having the same man, if you get what I'm saying. You can date the same man, but he can be different to every person that he dates. Obviously, he's different with Cardi. Y'all can talk about how Stefon Diggs is a hoe here and a hoe there, but at the end of the day, he her man. Okay? And regardless of whatever, he's different with her. We haven't seen him pop out with any other baby mamas. We haven't seen him pop out with any other girls, and that's exactly why Cardi B laughed at y'all from the beginning and basically said, baby, well, he all our baby daddies. Okay? But the difference between her and them other girls, they might have been people that been physical with him, but she's the one that's going to have his heart. She's the one at the birthday parties. She's the one dancing with the mama. Okay? So, yes.
Because she's Cardi B and he wants the endorsements. What's not clicking for this woman? He will do Cardi the exact same way as he is doing the other girls behind closed doors, of course. or maybe in front of everybody in the end to really embarrass her.
We're going to see a whole lot of hate train. We're going to see all the baby mamas come out, and they're going to all come out and just send all these daggers to Cardi B, because y'all already know how them baby mamas get to acting, okay? How them baby mamas get to asking about their baby daddy, all right? So we going to see all of these daggers and all these shots towards Cardi B because they mad because they want to be exactly where she is. But this is how you have the same man without having the same man, okay?
They literally have the same man and have the same man. There's no without having the same man. The same man is the same man with all of them. You might be getting different versions of him at different stages, right? You might be in the love bombing stage, so he looks like the different from the guy that's like going like this to the other girl, but it's the same man. She had that version of him too, which is why she gave it up, right? Which is why she was chefing for him and, you know what I mean, having a situationship with him. She had that other version of him too. Okay, you all have the same man, all different versions. Guys, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and hit that bell and subscribe. Subscribe and hit that bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Let's keep going.
If Cardi wasn't who she is, if she wasn't an icon superstar, she would be DEAD right now. And I hate to say it, but it's the truth of the matter. That man is an abuser. He's been an abuser for years. He's been abusive for years.
I think she's talking about Offset, just to give you the context. Let's keep going.
Consistent, nonstop cheating is abusive.
It is.
Manipulation is abusive.
It is.
We've been calling him out on his abuse since, when was that, 2019, 2018, I think it was, when he popped up on stage when she was performing at Rolling Loud, and was like, bruh, take me back. Crashed her work environment, right? Just to make his case known and basically tell her in a controlled environment, embarrass her, humiliate her, force her to take him back, right? It's control, it's dominance. There's so many ways that we have seen this man abuse her publicly. She literally got on live, y'all, or like Spaces, whatever you call that thing, and was talking about him nonstop harassing her. She literally said in that live, "You hurt me." And she has receipts, and she's trying not to release them, whatever those receipts are, whether they are bruises, whether they are text messages, whether they are voice notes, voicemails, voice messages, whatever you call them things. There's clear evidence of him escalating his abuse. We're literally watching abuse escalate in real time, and people are laughing, they're joking. But if she was an everyday woman, she would not be in the land of the living with us anymore, because that is how abuse functions. If she did not have the resources she has, and even with the multitude of resources she has, she is getting online telling us that she is concerned for her safety. She's concerned for her well-being, that she is tired, that she's tough, right? She's resilient.
So and I bring this up for us to really get a load of where Cardi is coming from. She has come from a really, really long-standing abusive situation.
But when is enough enough?
And the thing is as well, Offset was a liar, whereas Stefon tells the truth, right? And those guys, those narcissistic / psychopathic types will get you every single time if you've been with a liar, because it's kind of like they tell you the truth, and because it's the truth, you start to kind of disregard the disrespect in that truth, right? Because you're like, at least he's telling me. No. The quality of the truth, that also counts, right? But what we tend to do when we're in those situations is go, well, at least he's telling me the truth, which is better than I had before, so he must be better. Not necessarily. In fact, the ones that are telling you the truth with the disrespect intertwined in it are usually worse. More sadistic. What does he say? She's not wrong. I heard that stalking is the gateway behavior for unaliving, 110%. And it usually happens when you leave that relationship. So her relationship tracks a typical abuse relationship all the way through to the very end where he was stalking her. So she ran into the arms of this guy thinking, okay, it's going to be better, but
I'm literally attending.
So we got to take into account that she probably got with Stefon as well because she did not feel safe. And that was, remember, she did that song Safe. And then apparently, because the thing is, like, these guys, these abusive guys know how to make you feel safe in the beginning. 110%. They're all about it. They're experts.
The New York State Domestic Violence Coalition Prevention Summit this week. And I was talking about this amongst my colleagues, my peers, fellow organizers, practitioners, just about how much I was telling them. I said Black women across the diaspora, Afro-Caribbean women, African women, Black American women, et cetera, we are in crisis. Like, this shit is urgent. There are so many girly pops that we know that are our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues that are in abusive relationships. There are so many rap girlies, there's so many R&B girlies that are in abusive relationships that we are literally bearing witness to nonstop. Actress girlies, we can list them off. Halle, Kiki, Megan, the list goes on and on. Cardi, like, the list it's incessant at this point, and we are literally being fed these images and being fed people in real time telling us online and laughing, saying that it's nothing, making jokes. Like, this is wild, y'all. We are living in a time where it's one thing, right, for domestic violence and intimate partner violence and gender-based violence, et cetera, to not be taken serious. And that has always been a thing. Like, culturally, that had just been what it has always been. Like, right, like, marital rape wasn't even considered illegal or considered a thing until the 70s, right? Women weren't even allowed to open their own bank accounts until the 70s, right? Et cetera. So this is not unusual, but the ways in which we are seeing Black femicide rise. I think I was reading something and they said Black femicide rose in the past 2 to 3, 4 years by like 30%. Like, that's wild. This is wild. This is madness, y'all. This is madness. We are watching people create safety plans online in real time. That's because that's what Cardi's doing. She's literally documenting things because she is scared. Like every other woman who is living through abuse, when they're starting to document safety plans amongst their families, amongst their communities, amongst social media, online, documents their abuse because the courts do not care. The systems do not care. These abusers' family do not care. Their friends do not care. This is making me sick to my stomach because it's rampant, it's pervasive, and she's talking to us. She's like basically yelling into the void, and no one's doing anything. Like, we literally watched Megan Thee Stallion endure years of abuse, verbal abuse, harassment online because she came forward and said she was a victim and a survivor of intimate partner violence and has been berated by the public nonstop ever since. I'm tired, y'all. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Baby by that man. The baby's here already, so I feel like the whole Cardi B situation would have been far more satisfying if she didn't have a baby by that man. The baby's
Would have been far more satisfied if she didn't sleep with anybody at all, but let's keep going.
here already, so I like to refrain from talking about shit a certain way once the new life is already in the picture. There's nothing you can do. But damn, it was so satisfying in the beginning. Even when she was on the boat with all them bitches, I know she was still being a dumb bitch back then. But like, she was having fun though. And it was just supposed to be fun. That's not the type of nigga you take seriously. Like, a lot of people forget, a lot of women forget, there's the men that you have fun with for now. And then there's the men that you go with for life.
We need to stop with the men that you have fun with for now, because that always turns out to be more complicated than it really should have been. Okay, so just cut that bit out. It's nonsense. It's literal nonsense, guys.
There's boyfriend, there's husband, that's my nigga.
You're selling yourself short. and thinking you're being empowered, or being acting in an empowered way. You're not.
Like, we're missing recipes, we're losing recipes, we're calling everybody our man, we're just like going all in, and that's not what all of these men is for. Stefan is a cute guy, he's here for a good time. He wasn't trying to have no baby with her. They look like good friends. They look like chill friends. Their energy reminds me of like two college friends that had a class together, and like they started talking for a few months, and like they're cool and they like each other's Instagram stories every now and then, but they're not really that close. They don't have that much chemistry. I feel bad for her because she looks like the type, like she want that family unit. And I don't know if she thought she was gonna get that from him. I think she knew that, you know, his energy and attention would be divided, but I truly believe Cardi thought that he would like prioritize her over the other ones because she's more known. Y'all don't understand men yet. And it's like bitches are way older than me still falling for stupid ass shit. Bitches is way older than me still getting pregnant by their sugar daddy, trick, the nigga you supposed to have fun with. That type of shit used to irritate me in high school. Like the girls that used to talk about, yeah, I'm talking to this older guy. I'm talking to this, I have a sugar daddy. Okay, that's cute, bitch, you know? That's real cute. He's getting you this, he's getting you that. He's pulling his weight. But why go get pregnant with him? Why go start a life with this old ass man? Why go start a life with that man, that sneaky link? Why go start a life with that, like, what are we doing? You both together.
We're getting emotionally attached to the sneaky link like we do because we're women. That's what I mean by it's come to a time where we have to start respecting us being women and stop trying to act like men, because it's getting us into these situations. Because we're not respecting, and I don't want to say respecting ourselves as in, oh, you know, just doing the right thing and saying, no, I mean, we're not respecting the women that we are. We are supposed to attach. We are supposed to do that because that is part of our biological makeup. Stop trying to go in the other direction or trying to pretend like you're going in the other direction. Like we are supposed to do those things. So let's act accordingly. If you know that, don't jump on the guy who isn't worthy of it. It's penis. Okay? Might want to stop doing that.
Get what you want. If that was attention, if that was money, if that was sex, whatever the fuck you were there for, focus on that and dip the fuck out after. Why are we tying ourselves down to these niggas for life? Because once you have a baby with someone, I don't care what nobody say. Energetically, spiritually, you're tied to them for life. A nigga you was just supposed to have a fun with. 2 seconds.
So if you know, if you understand energetic and spiritually, you should understand biologically as well. And biologically, we connect with the men that we sleep with, just for the fact that we're women.
Nut. Now you tied to this nigga for life.
Okay, let's keep going.
A type, y'all. I guess Stefon Diggs definitely has a type, y'all. I guess even when it comes down to who's cooking his food, because this is allegedly the private chef Mila Adams that is accusing him of strangulation. This is the woman that's in the text messages. And let me ask y'all, did y'all peep how she said, "I'm out your life"? That was very odd to me that a chef with a business relationship would say something like that. "I'm out your life." That sounded a little bit more intimate, if you ask me. Now, looking at her, do y'all think that she was dealing with Stefon in an intimate manner? I'm going to let y'all clock that. But either way, as y'all know, Stefon was arrested 5 days ago. So
wait a minute. Aunt Boo, what do you mean? You said here, male-centered woman will complain about being abused, then weaponize the same man. What do you mean? Please elaborate, because that sounds interesting.
You know, now we're wondering, with him being seen with all his children, was that a PR stunt to distract us from the fact that he was going to jail, you know, had gotten arrested? So
yeah, apparently he got arrested on Christmas Day.
You know, this is just a whole mess going into 2026. Definitely sounds like they're going to end up settling because Stefon is already offering her money behind the scenes. So by the time he goes to arraignment in January 23rd, I think it is, more than likely they would have settled out of court. And y'all know the Patriots just won the AFC. They're going to help him settle this case so that he can go on with the playoffs. And that's just what it is. But messy, messy, messy.
Yeah, he's gonna settle for sure.
You remember what she did to that girl from the... Maybe Cardi B is just living in her karma. If you remember what she did to that girl from the UK on Love and Hip Hop, laughing at that girl's pain and taunting that girl while she was in tears. And look, she ain't had no luck with men since.
I don't remember that. I didn't watch that, so I shouldn't even say I don't remember that. I never saw it in the first place. But guys, you let me know in the comment section. Aunt Boo, what did you mean by the male-centered women bet? Please elaborate. We've got 2 more.
There are multiple creators on this app. So I just want to point something out because the silence is getting weird. There are multiple creators on this app, like Dwight Thomas, Nosy Bystanders, and a few others who suddenly don't have a single word to say about the allegations involving Stefon Diggs.
Yeah, but
We're talking about a situation where he allegedly strangled his chef, and Cardi B allegedly tried to downplay it and pay the victim off, telling her it wasn't that serious, allegedly. But notice how nobody wants to touch that. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj can sneeze and suddenly it's a moral crisis. 10 posts, 20 stitches, fake think pieces. And what's wild is Dwight literally had to delete a post after lying about Nicki losing 10 million followers.
Yesterday, I posted a video about Nicki Minaj deactivating her Instagram and losing 10 million followers. There were some things that needed to be corrected, so I took the video down with Cardi B. Now, some people were speculating that she was back on Instagram before her interview with Erica Kirk on Turning Point USA. However, when I did some deeper digging, it seems that she never reactivated her account.
Then came back and backtracked everything. But look how fast he was to talk shit and lie about Nicki versus how slow everyone is when it's Cardi. That's not coincidence. That's selective outrage. Y'all, be serious for just a second. Because how is it that everybody suddenly goes mute when it comes to the Stefon Diggs allegations, but when it's Nicki Minaj, y'all turn into investigative journalists? Like, where's the energy now? We got allegations of strangling, alleged hush money, alleged it's not that serious conversations, but nope, silence. Instead, Nosy Bystanders is back from her little break talking about Nicki again. Girl, after what you did to that woman, please. And Dwight? He jumped out the window lying about Nicki losing 10 million followers, had to delete it, came back, admitted it wasn't true, and somehow still found a way to praise Cardi. One post loving Cardi, another post dragging Nicki, but not one about Stefon Diggs. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, but you cannot convince me this isn't allegedly payola behavior. Because why are multiple bloggers and creators refusing to talk about the Stefon Diggs situation? Why is...
We went into that next.
All these motherfucking lawsuits. One thing I could tell you is that motherfucking chef was serving up more than motherfucking cake. She was serving up cat too. Listen, you got to be able to read between the lines. Is it right that he put his hands or what he allegedly did? No, it's not right. But at the end of the day, whenever you sleep with your employer, you blur those lines. A nigga will think he can play with you because he put his...
There is never a blurred enough line for you to put your hands on someone. So that but shouldn't be there. Like what you're about to say next. As soon as you said but, I was like, okay, now you're going to justify the entire situation. What do you mean blurred lines? There was never a blurred enough line for him to put his hands on you.
Thing in you. And that's the whole thing, is that I don't know who released those text messages, if it was her or whatever, but they didn't really do any justice. They kind of just showed everyone like, oh, y'all were hunching. Y'all were hunching, literally, you know? And then even the situation, the lawsuit with the IG girl that he's in right now, it's like with her and them, like if you go around a nigga house busting all his shit open, like if he loves you, he'll bear hug you. Me, I always get bear hugged because when I get on my fuck around and find out type of timing and I want to go in a nigga's lips, right? 9 times out of 10 because I know they love me. That's the thing. When you bitches be wanting to be toxic and play these toxic games, you got to know how much a nigga love you. Because if you don't know how much that nigga love you, he will hit you. I've never, ever had anybody just hit me in my shit or slap me. I've never been just slapped or hit by a man.
It sounds like it. It sounds like you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. It sounds like you got lucky and haven't been with someone who was abusive. Because they act the exact same way as the one that isn't abusive, but actually is. So, yeah, you just got lucky, girl. Let's keep going.
But, hold on. It was at one time. But this was like back, I was like 18, 19. Anyways, the thing about it, right, is that even with that situation, a lot of this is like toxic relationships, right? And for me, when the situation had first come out with Milan and her lawsuit, I remember seeing like some screenshots or something. I can't think of exactly what, but it was like trying to say her and her best friend were trying to get money out of him before filing the lawsuit, right? So for me, even with that situation, it's not a lot.
No, she wasn't trying to get money out of him. Now we're distorting the fact. She wasn't trying to get money out of him. She was trying to get her wages that was owed to her. Not the same thing.
Not that I can speak on to say because I don't know the full thing, but I will say this, right? Is I want to know, did she call the police the night that all of this happened, or was it something that she reported a month or a week or two later? You know, it's a lot more to that story. When it first dropped, there was so much more because I remember that it didn't make Milan look great or in the best light. But for a nigga to countersue you, there's something missing in that situation.
No. Countersuing is the classic abuser's defense these days. You need to catch up, girl. You need to catch up. Countersuing practically means I'm guilty. I'm gonna try and front it, especially when it comes to people in the public eye.
So for the chef, you was getting cracked. For the whole like Milan situation, I feel like it was a toxic relationship, and at the end of the day, you put your hands on a nigga and he hit you back, and you probably wasn't expecting that. But also, there was another situation, but I won't even fucking speak on it. You know why I won't speak on it? Because why the fuck does anybody care about who's fucking and hunching who? Why the fuck does it matter? Even me, I'm only speaking on this because of the fact that like today I've actually had time to stop and scroll and look at what everybody's talking about and give my little 2 cents on it. By the way, just to make this very clear, I've never dealt with Stefon in any type of like atmosphere. Like we've never dated, touched, sucked, fuck, nothing.
Okay, so she knows him though. Okay, got it. That would make sense why she's come up with this twisted logic, apart from the fact that she doesn't know what she's talking about in general. Let's keep going.
He a cool nigga. You know, of course, I've danced for him before. I'll dap him up. What's up when I see him out? But that's it. But you know the one thing that I hate the worst that people aren't realizing about this? I hate that every time he gets in some shit or there's something big posted on the blogs, they drag Cardi into it. Even though that this stuff might be stuff that happened before Cardi, except for the chef. That kind of has me a little confused. I want the world to realize this girl is going through postpartum not postpartum depression, but she's postpartum, right? She's postpartum. She's working her ass off to go work and do this tour. But also, it's like when you deal with a nigga, I don't feel like you should have to take on every single thing bad that he does. And I really.
Cardi, to me, Cardi is in this for me in this video because she is in the middle of a DV relationship that she doesn't even know that she's in. She is very much in this. What do you mean? He does this to another woman, and we're not supposed to think about Cardi in this situation, who has actively just had his baby, and the other women, of course. But he's going to be violent to all of them. So she's very much in this situation. I'm not understanding what she's not understanding. What's not clicking?
Wish that like the internet would understand. Cardi's her own person, he's his own person, right? They both have their own lives. But I definitely could see how all of this coming out and being a topic every fucking day could be stressful to her. So at the end of the day, like, shout out to Cardi, bitch. You know, hoes gonna be mad, a nigga doing you good, doing him bad, whatever. But at the end of the day got a motherfucking end. And let that man be responsible for his actions. I don't feel like y'all should be kind of dragging Cardi in it as well. But other than that, if you read between the lines, the chef was getting motherfucking cracked. The other girl, you put your hands on a nigga, found the fuck out. Then you came back, which is like, whatever. File whatever you want to file. But for a nigga to countersue you, it's something there, you know? But at the end of the day, I just thought I'd give my 2 cents.
Male abusers countersue all the time. It's the new thing. There's nothing there. They want what is Boo saying? Sorry, I missed all of this. Let's hear what you're saying. Okay. So let's go back to this and see your post. What are you guys saying? So it starts with Mel complain about I think weaponized. They will be in a relationship flexing like the man is a prize from them online, crying after they, and then come online crying after they break up. So do you think they were abusive all that time, or what are your thoughts on that? Yeah, because a lot of the time when you're in a toxic relationship, you want to save face, especially if the person's in the public eye. So you'll find that pattern happening a lot within these kind of like toxic, narcissistic, and abusive dynamics. Like they're fronting and then they come out later and tell you the truth because they're trying to save face. They want women to be jealous of them for their relationship, but then have empathy when they get abused. Are we talking about Cardi, or are we talking about in general? But I think that Cardi is quite male-centered, though. I do have to say that. And that's the type of thing that she would want. She wants to be male-centered. Women will use the woman in their village for labor, but then center the men who burn the village down. Yeah, 110%. 110%. This is part of the problem. They're not safe to be around. You called it, Angelena, when she said, well, it was that one time. Was that one time? Yeah, she yeah, I found her quite annoying. Anyway, thank you for your points of view on this. There's a lot of male-centeredness going on, 110%. A lot of male-centeredness going on, and that is part of the problem. So in conclusion, I think he did it. I know it's allegedly, but this is my opinion. My opinion is I think he did it. I hope Cardi does not stand beside him. And not just because it'll hurt her career, but also because she'll be next in the attacks. So I need her to be as far away from that situation as possible. Harlem, hello. I think Cardi can be abusive to other women, but then look for empathy from women. Yeah, but Cardi B is also male-centered. So yeah, she will do that. That's what male-centered women will do too. They will attack other women for the gaze of men. Does that make sense? Like they'll get into competitions with women to get the approval of men. They'll fight women. They'll do all of those things. Cardi has been doing that since the beginning of time. Now, being in a narcissistic or abusive relationship will make you codependent. It's training you to be that way. So you're going to act in these crazy ways, right? But you know, and after that, it is a trauma response. So you come out of it and you continue down this road. You can pick up this kind of teaching, like I was saying earlier, from your culture and stuff like that. A lot of ethnic cultures will teach all of this codependent pick me type behavior, right? So we got to be aware of that. A lot of it is fed into our upbringing. And it's dysfunctional, but we don't know it's dysfunctional. It's just the way it is, right? So we got to take into account Cardi's Hispanic, right? It's going to be there. So yeah, I think I agree. She will attack women. She'll throw women under the bus for men. She's probably actively having an argument with all the baby mothers right now. That's just that on that. But yeah, I hope she gets out of there. I hope she takes the time to be by herself, get some therapy, heal from the situation, you know, like learn how to manage and overcome that codependent response so that she can get out of that behavior, which will make her less vulnerable moving forward to these types of situations. Right now, she's like an open wound in the ocean full of sharks. But those are my thoughts. Thank you for being here. Please give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you get a notification every time I go live. I go live to talk about celebrities and their relationships and the toxic dynamics that show up as a result. Basically, anyway, because in a lot of these celebrity relationships are narcissistic and abusive. And I want to shine a light on that so we don't like follow the trend and think it's okay. It is like dysfunction after dysfunction after dysfunction. So I use the celebrity relationships to teach on toxic, narcissistic, and abusive dynamics. So please subscribe and hit that bell if you want to stay in the know. There's my free training, of course, if you want to look at it module by module. Links in the description box. Thank you for joining. Thank you for staying. Good Life Starter Pack. Thank you, Harlem. Thank you, Aunt Boo. Thank you, I'm awake. Thank you for coming, my regulars. Thank you so much. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next week, same time. Until then, live boldly, live empowered, live from the inside out. Bye for now.
But you wanna suffer. Trying to